BD Horror 2099 has made the return because we're talking about another anomaly. However, this anomaly is some multiversal level action going on because this anomaly did not just affect a certain part of the fandom. This anomaly affected the entire industry. This is what guided the series of Goosebumps and led it down a certain direction. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, from the thumbnail alone, I'm talking about Monster Blood. Okay? Monster Blood. That's right. I'm talking about Monster Blood. Now, this series of books has always managed to let me into a field of straight distortion. I'm talking about LSD level trip. Because after reading all 4 Monster Blood books in the OG 62, that's right, I've only made a review on 2 of them. Review on Monster Blood 3 and Monster Blood 4 will be coming out soon enough. When I say soon enough, that means whenever I get time to it, if you haven't noticed. But whenever I get to them soon enough, that's when I'm going to talk about them in depth. However, the Monster Blood series has remained to be one of the weakest franchise of books in Goosebumps I have ever read. By far, no question, no doubt in my mind, it is by far the weakest. Monster Blood 1 is an average book. It is so average. I can see why people like it. I actually like a majority of the book up until the ending, which sort of fumbles, but I did enjoy it. I kind of liked it. I think it's average. Monster Blood 2 is absolute straight rhino doo-doo, like it's trash or garbage. Garbaggio, get that out of here. Monster Blood 3 is also doo-doo, but it's more like emu doo-doo, like not as bad as the rhino, but it's still not good. You don't want to deal with picking it up, on a Sunday morning. And then you got Monster Blood 4. Monster Blood 4 is also doo-doo. Straight septic tank material. But again, it becomes something that you're used to. Because after reading 3 books in a row of straight trash, you get used to it. You don't get shocked by it. It just becomes a part of life. It becomes a way of life. But I'm wondering, how come the Monster Blood books, which have gotten such negative receptions, especially Monster Blood 2, 3, and 4, often many people think of these as super weak books. Maybe some people don't openly hate them, but people think that they're not good. How did a series like that become so popular, especially with such a weak start? Now, if we look at other franchises within Goosebumps, it's not really hard to figure out, I guess, why they might have become popular. First, we take a look at Slappy. Slappy, Night of the Living Dummy 1, apparently single-handedly saved the Goosebumps series, because if Slappy's book, Night of the Living Dummy 1, did not sell as much as it did, Goosebumps probably would have been canceled because the books were sitting on shelves and not selling. Night of the Living Dummy 1 caused a lot of sales and sparked up basically the hype for the series back in the day. So Slappy is responsible for that, and it makes sense why he's popular. He's a ventriloquist dummy. He's smart. He's smart. He's quippy. He's quirky. He's got comebacks. He'd be roasting people, flaming them. So he's got a little bit of charisma to him. People like the look of him. People thought he was creepy. So, I can understand why it picked up in popularity. The idea of a toy, which oftentimes we doubt, becoming real and terrorizing us. That is a cool concept. And people resonated with the character, and that's why we've gotten so many Slappy books. Now, of course, I have complained that there are too many Slappy books. We've gotten, I think, 25? Is it 25 stories or more with Slappy in it? Which is ridiculous compared to any other Goosebumps villain or storyline. But, again, I get the popularity. He's sort of like the mascot of Goosebumps, so you can't really argue against that. The movies do it, even with the new Goosebumps, Resurrection or whatever the poster is for the new show, you got Slappy right on the front of it. So it makes sense why he's so popular. And to be fair, the Slappy series does have great books in it. Night of the Living Dummy 2 is absolutely fantastic. That's almost damn near a perfect book. It's a perfect Slappy story. Damn near also almost a perfect book. Son of Slappy is really good. I've read that one where it shows Slappy manipulating a child, using him as basically the dummy to cause destruction. And that was a really good one. That was a good psychological, horror, seeing a kid, really good kid breakdown. So those are some fire books in there. I haven't finished all of them, so I'm sure there's more that are going to be good. But yeah. And then you have, The Haunted Mask. The Haunted Mask is another franchise in the series. And The Haunted Mask completely makes sense why it's so popular and, why it's so loved. Because, first of all, it's Stein's favorite story. Stein said The Haunted Mask is his favorite story. You have the sheer popularity of the book. It is probably one of the most widely regarded kids' horror Halloween books of all time. Easily would go in Hall of Fame in that category. The Haunted Mask episode is extremely popular. Every adult that even has a hint of Goosebumps always mentions the Haunted Mask. They either mention Slappy or they mention the Haunted Mask. The Haunted Mask is mentioned by so many people who have the slightest experience with Goosebumps. They don't have to be fans. They don't have to be keeping up with Goosebumps. Just back in the day, they remember that, hey, the Haunted Mask was something I watched on TV and it slapped. Everybody loved it. Then you got the Haunted Mask 2, which the Haunted Mask 2 book is not as good as the first Haunted Mask, but you have the hype of the first book, the iconicness of the first book, carrying on to the second book. The second book is still good. I still enjoy it, but it's not as good as the first one. But the episode, that's where we get it, y'all. The Haunted Mask 2 episode is one of the best episodes in all of kids' horror media. You take kids' horror television, The Haunted Mask is one of the best stories and episodes made. It's completely different from the book. It goes down its own TV series only type of route, but it's fantastic. It is so well done. It's one of the best kids' horror episodes ever made. So that explains why it's so hyped, because if you watch the first episode and you're like, wow, I watched this on TV, it's fantastic. The Haunted Mask 2 comes out and it tops even that. And everyone's like, yo, this is probably one of the best franchises in Goosebumps, all right? Then you get the Screams of the Haunted Mask in Horrorland. And then you get Wanted the Haunted Mask, which Wanted the Haunted Mask by some people is apparently one of the best things in the world. And by other people, it's like, oh, it's good, it's okay. So I don't know. But the Haunted Mask has had a pretty consistently good franchise, and obviously the iconicness of certain parts of it are just incredible. You have, Deep Trouble, that sort of there. And I'm missing some other franchises, but Say Cheese and Die, that's another one. Forget the sequel, but the first one's iconic. But Monster Blood. Monster Blood seems to defy every single thing that I just mentioned, because Monster Blood's first book is straight average. And a majority, if not all people, say that the book is average. Like, it's decent, it's good. It's nothing special, but it's all right, And then the second book is straight. I'm talking about, that smell you get when you enter the petting zoos? That's what you get when you open up each page of this book. You open up each page of this book. They upgraded the technology on the new versions. You smell the petting zoo. The local petting zoo hits you right in the face as you flip through each page. This is a stinker. Straight stinker. Who would want to read this garbage? It is so bad. The sequel is so god awful. And then the third book, Monster Blood 3, is also awful. It's just so goofy, so ridiculous. You get introduced to one of the worst. I promise you, bro, I would snuff this kid. I would sneak this kid IRL. He's getting the straight clock. He's getting the Muay Thai elbow. He's getting blocked, bro. Like, damn. This kid, Kermit, he's terrible, bro. He's so annoying. He's such a little brat. He's always causing trouble. This series has the most unlikable characters. You have Evan, who's just a little shit. No one likes him as an MC. You have Andy, who was a good character in the first book, and then she got she got into an accident. She was on her bike. She got hit with a semi-truck, and that semi-truck caused her to have amnesia, and that's what caused her to be one of the stupidest characters in Goosebumps, because in the second, third, and fourth book, in the first book, these kids got terrorized by monster blood. In the second, third, and fourth, the one who instigates bringing monster blood back for whatever reason, just for the fun of it, just for shits and giggles, is Andy. Andy turns into one of the most dumbest, Neanderthal characters. I don't know if she got hit with the semi-truck, she got amnesia, or what happened. Maybe she got, this is like that episode of Full House where, what was it, Michelle got thrown off the horse and all of a sudden lost her whole memory. Maybe that happened with Andy. Andy just instigates every single time to cause conflict. Conan the Barbarian, he's sometimes funny, but he's just a stupid bully, just sort of a big gorilla of a dummy character. You got Kermit, who's a little shit, so annoying, nobody likes him. And then the mom is just never even involved. So what is the parent is not barely even involved in any of the books. So really, oh, I forgot, the parent blames. The parent blames Evan a lot, which I understand, but blames him a lot for stuff. And then also Kermit's mom, Taro. Kermit's mom just defends Kermit no matter what and always blames Evan for everything, even if Kermit openly does something. Terrible book, terrible characters. Literally, the series produces nothing but hot doo-doo garbaggio. You know what I'm saying? How did this manage to become so popular? And that too, how did it become so popular to the point that Cuddles the hamster from Monster Blood 2 manages to become one of the most popular characters to the point that he becomes a mascot? How is Cuddles a mascot? Nobody, I promise you, bro, nobody remembers or cares about Cuddles if it was not for the amount of merch and the amount of stuff that they promoted for him. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have thought he would have been a mascot. You would expect Monster Blood itself to be a mascot, but no, they make Cuddles a mascot. Cuddles is not Slappy. Cuddles is not the haunted mask. I don't want to hear that, bro. Get that shit out of here, bro. I don't want to hear it. For people who somehow like Cuddles enough to where you think he's justified to be a mascot. No, that's incorrect. That's an anomaly. Stop the cap. So how? We're here complaining about how Monster Blood managed to be so popular. How is it that it became so popular? Well, the simplest explanation that I have towards why it's so popular is based on two theories. So one would be the craze of the certain idea that Monster Blood runs off of. Now, Monster Blood, for those who may not know, or maybe it's been a long time, Monster Blood is this green substance that comes in a can, and when you open up this blue can, the Monster Blood slime begins to grow and keep growing and growing and growing, so it's like this ever-expanding slime thing. And immediately, when you hear an idea like that, you kind of get why Stein did it. So first of all, back in the day, slime was super popular. For some of you young kids out there watching this, you may not know about the craze for slime, but slime was super popular back in the day. Even in the early 2000s, slime was being used a lot, slime was being promoted for stuff, and in the 1990s, it was extremely popular. So slime was a big craze back then. Then you have the idea of toys. Toys immediately leads to the idea of, hey, they can make Goosebumps merch out of this. Goosebumps merch can become, blue cans of slime labeled Monster Blood. You have the ability to make money, you have the idea to be advertisable, to be promotable. That's a good marketing tool. You could use that to your advantage. And also the idea of growing. So back in the day, again, early 90s and then throughout the 90s and early 2000s, you had the idea of growing. So you had those little animal things that you would get. You would put them in the water and they would start expanding. You would wait like 3, 4, 5 days, and eventually that little like crocodile or little snake would become this giant crocodile or giant snake that you could pick up and throw around like a teddy bear and stuff. And it kind of showed you, how things evolve, how things grow, how babies turn to adults, that kind of stuff. But it was super popular back in the day. So you have the whole idea of growing, and growing is the main thing of Monster Blood. So you have slime, you have a marketable toy, and you have growing. All these three things lead to potentially a lot of marketing, a lot of money, and a lot of promotion that would go for Goosebumps. So yeah, that's probably the main reason why they try to promote this. The same way Slappy. Slappy is a toy. Slappy is inherently something that they can promote. Same way Haunted Mask. Stein got the idea because he saw his kid trying to put on a mask and he was having a hard time taking it off and, kind of moving it. He got that idea. So you can make haunted mask and stuff like that. However, while that sounds good on paper, the amount of Monster Blood, like actual Monster Blood toy merch, I believe is out there is very little. The amount of, kind of promotion that this sort of idea could have taken off with, it did not get, I think, mass produced or did not get like promoted a lot. From what people have told me. Now, I could be completely wrong, but from what my friends on Discord have told me, other fellow YouTubers, guys who collect a lot of Goosebumps stuff, they've told me that there's not been a lot, if at all, really any Monster Blood toy merch or slime merch that has been made to where kids can buy it, kids can play with it, even adult collectors can buy it and keep onto it, keep the value. They don't open up the cans, they keep it the way it is. Those kind of things have not been produced. So although the idea of Monster Blood sort of led to this, and you would think that they would highlight off of it, they didn't highlight off of it. They didn't maximize that. So it's sort of a waste. It's like you have this perfect idea that everyone's like, yeah, you can promote this. You can make this a big thing. You can make it a part of Goosebumps, make it huge. You're in the middle of the craze. But they don't utilize it. They don't do it. And now it's too late. Now it's way too late. The craze for slime has gone down significantly. The whole toy market's not really popping off as much as it used to be. So, the times are gone. So you missed your chance to, maximize and utilize that idea. So that's sort of out the window. So you're thinking, all right, well, why does Monster Blood, why could it still be popular? Well, Cuddles the hamster is very clearly to be forced marketing, right? They just sort of pushed Cuddles the hamster to become the main mascot. Now, why you would want Cuddles to be the main mascot for Goosebumps, I have no idea at all. I don't know. Because, all right, Slappy, in terms of his books, in terms of his marketing, the ability to make the Slappy dummy and stuff like that, that makes sense as to why you make a mascot. The Haunted Mask, in my opinion, I feel the Haunted Mask should be the mascot for Goosebumps. It'll always be the mascot for Goosebumps in my heart. I feel like it should be the mascot for Goosebumps because, first of all, it's Stein's favorite story. So why would you not honor Stein's favorite story as the main mascot promotion? It is the story that pretty much everybody knows about regarding Goosebumps. If you ask somebody about Goosebumps, if they have the slightest experience of Goosebumps, 90% of the time or more, it's going to be because of the Haunted Mask. I'm like, yeah, I remember watching the Haunted Mask on Halloween. I remember when that came out. I remember the book and stuff like that in my library. They'll all remember the Haunted Mask. It's either the Haunted Mask or it's Slappy. Haunted Mask, I've seen a lot more people saying like, hey, I remember Goosebumps for that. So I don't know why you wouldn't make that. Also, you can make the Haunted Mask, mask. And you can, mass produce it, promote different masks. You can make the different masks that are used in the books and stuff talked about. And you could sell those on Halloween. You can make a lot of fortune, a lot of money off of that. It's a great marketing ploy. But Goosebumps didn't do it. Instead, and you could have gotten more hype off of that by getting more Haunted Mask sequels. There's only 4 Haunted Mask books, which means there's 3 sequels. Meanwhile, Monster Blood has the 1 book, and then it has 3 sequels in OG62 alone. In OG62 alone, people. You have Monster Blood for Breakfast, which is a Horrorland book, and then you have, Monster Blood is Back, or Cooking with Monster Blood. I don't know what it was, but it was something like it appears in Slappy World again. And then you have, like, mentions of it in GYG, where GYG, it's mentioned, I think, in Carnival of Horrors, or one of those ones, it's mentioned in there. So, yeah, and then you have it, I guess in another form with Slime Doesn't Pay. Slime Doesn't Pay, who's a book by a fan that's going to be made into an actual book. We know that the title was supposed to be used for a Goosebumps book in the original 62. We suspected it might have been Monster Blood 3, but now we're getting an official book. That one involves slime. So, like, the idea of its influence being there in Goosebumps is present throughout. But in terms of the actual stuff that came out of Monster Blood, whoever was in charge of Goosebumps did not highlight on it. So I feel like it's a lot of promotion. It's a lot of books. It's a lot of, pushed agenda towards a series that came out with so many stinkers and so many weak books, but yet the payout is not there. So I don't know. Maybe if I could ever talk to Stein, I will probably talk to him about it and be like, yo, what did you think about Monster Blood? You know, like, I might just want to ask him, like, what was the plan for Monster Blood? Like, what did he think when he made the book? What was some of his inspiration making the book? And how does he feel about it being promoted a lot? Because if, you know, in my opinion, if there are more characters and books and stuff that are more iconic, that could do more for Goosebumps, and that could resonate more with fans of Goosebumps, why would you not put the money and budget towards that? And why would you not make more sequels and books towards that? Slappy has done it. Why not Haunted Mask? Why not, you know, Werewolf Fever Swamp? Werewolf Fever Swamp is another book that is pretty much loved by everybody. A lot of my fans and a lot of my friends in Discord and IRL that I've talked to said they love the Werewolf Fever Swamp. People love werewolves. Why not promote that? That's not promoted. So, you know, I don't know. For any fans out there of Monster Blood, do not take this to heart. Do not think that, you know, your opinion is invalidated. I'm just saying that Monster Blood is a thing where a majority of people I've heard, they say that the books are weak. They say they don't understand why Cuddles is a mascot. They don't understand a lot of this promotion that went out for it. So those were just some of my hypotheses on why it might have been the case. However, the outcome was subpar. It did not highlight on what the, you know, probably original intentions were. And in turn, it wasted potential of stuff like The Haunted Mask and stuff like Welcome to Dead House and stuff like Werewolf Fever Swamp, which all could have been promoted way more and probably would have done more for the series and been more effective in scaring children than this toy, which led to nowhere. So that's just my take. I know Monster Blood out there, the YouTuber probably hates this video. He's like, yo, you used me in the thumbnail, and now you're talking about, now you're slandering my favorite thing. Sorry, my brother, I just had to do it. I had to preach my truth. But I know you hot, so let me know in the comments, Monster Blood, what you think about this video. For all you guys out there, let me know your thoughts below. What do you think about Monster Blood being promoted so much in Goosebumps? What do you think about the outcome of it? Do you feel that the books are also very weak? Do you feel like the shine should have went towards some other villains and some other stories? Let me know down below your own thoughts and opinions. Again, it's a discussion video. The video part is my opinion, but down in the comments, you guys can spark discussions. Just keep it respectful. Try to keep, you know, an level of understanding and respect towards each other. But feel free to discuss down below, and I will reply to anything that you may come up with. Maybe you guys have more details and more info as to why this outcome in Goosebumps happened. So feel free to inform me. I'm open ears. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys liked this little discussion video. This is the first real discussion video I've had that's outside of reviewing direct books. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably have more in the future once I read more series and more books. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Stay dripped up. Stay ready to go for the next video to come and more reviews on the way. And if you guys have any recommendations down below for books or series that you want me to check out, feel free to let me know. That's all I have for today, folks. Deuces, yo. Haunted Mask really got robbed, bro. And honestly, you know what I'm saying, bro? The way that this merchandise stuff fails so much is they never come out with underwear. Let me talk to y'all, man. You got briefs, right? You got briefs. Like imagine briefs or like them tidy whities, but you got Slappy's face right across the crotch. And like think about it. I don't know. You think that's a crazy idea? Watch this. Imagine you with your girl, right? Your girl right here. Right. You pull up, you turn off the lights. You got the night light on, though, just so you know what I'm saying. You keep a look, check her out. And you take off your clothes, and she sees the underwear, and it's a face, bro. Do you know how intimidating that is for a girl in the dark to see Slappy's face on a man's crotch? Listen, man. I feel like it's a game changer. I feel like you could change the sex game with that, man. Now, I know that doesn't appeal to kids, but listen. How about this? Slappy lollipops. But as you take a bite or suck on a lollipop, it has a jaw mechanism that clamps down on the kid's tongue. And then they scream for help. But they're screaming because that's what Goosebumps is supposed to do. Viewers beware, you're in for a scare. Now, if I was on the marketing team, I feel like I could really drive the series. Stein, if you're watching this video, feel free to hit me up. My business email is down on my channel. feel free to let me know if you want any deals. All right, I'm talking like, you know what I'm saying, like 60% of royalties. I feel like that's reasonable.